Ron Custom Show is coming to the Expo Center this weekend. My favorite weekend of the short year, absolutely. Thursdays we start load-in. Friday is Military Day, so if you have a military ID, you get in free thanks to Sexton Ford. It's just going to be jam-packed this year. Two super awesome things to check out. The incinerator monster truck's going to be there on display. And most importantly, I think where you're going to see most of the people gathered for the bulk of the weekend is in front of Sorceress. This sort of hybrid animal street car, drag car, potential world record holder. Rod and Michael, who are responsible for this car and all the cool stuff that goes around it, are in the studio with us. Rod, you guys are from Dubuque. You're from Dubuque.
Correct.
This is you bought this car at, how old were you?
I saved up my whole life, and I was 18 years old when we bought it.
1984, Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Hurst Olds, yeah.
Hurst Olds.
Saved
right.
up all the money from all the cutting yards and doing all that stuff. It was my very first car I ever bought.
And it was your car to drive to school and get around and all that.
It was it. That's it.
And then you held on to it, and now you're going to try and set a land speed record with a stock vehicle. Is that?
Well, it's kind of close. First of all, when it was broke down, I had a hitchhike, so that answers your question.
Okay. Let's go right there. Have you ever picked up a hitchhiker? Did you hear some of this stuff?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know
People
what? That's why we
picking
put
up a hitchhiker with a bale of pot in the back of the kid's like straight out of something about Mary.
So I didn't have all the qualifications to build a world record car, but if I put a passenger seat in there, I could pick up a teammate, and we could build this thing, you know. So we accommodated that, you know. So all along, I found Michael here. We computerized the car, which seriously, 30 years ago, a computer in a vehicle was pretty unheard of. So it was groundbreaking. I utilized the tool. I had an offshore boat that I was utilizing to build into the computerized side of things, and then as we went, just like building a group or a band. You pick up members along the way. You gel and you build your family. I've never, ever lost the family. We've stayed together. The band stayed together. This all started back in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
We're still doing it.
And they were all hitchhiking?
Yeah, every one of us.
Every one of us.
Every one of them. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so tell us what you're going to do. You've had this car up how fast?
I have had it up to probably... I'd say about 31 miles an hour. However, the guy that ended up building this newest creation I have, his name is Don Spear, out of right here in the Quad Cities. He's our latest member to the group here, and he was the missing piece all along. I had everything else. And I'm like, who can actually fine-tune us? Who's crazy enough and qualified to go 300 miles an hour in a car? And people started talking about this guy, Don Spear, in the Quad Cities. And I'm like, somehow I got to meet him. So I found a guy. He said, I can take you there. I can't tell you how to get there, but it's a Kwanzaa hut on the other side of the airport. And I'm like, honestly, this is the kind of guy that you would first meet and say, dude, I can see this guy hitchhiking. And I'm like, well, should I wait until he comes by or what? So, but we got him, and he's on board.
So he's your driver.
He is the driver. He's had his car well beyond 200 miles an hour already. And really, we like to practice here in our local track at Cordova. And we ran out of season. We loaded it up. We put the band together, headed out to Las Vegas about a month and a half ago. And we got all kinds of cool footage for you guys. If you come to the show this weekend, we're going to put you in the car. We'll put you virtual reality glasses on. You will see Don Spear pulling the handle, hitting the sticks on a street-driven licensed car going 213 miles an hour.
I'm looking. It has license plates on the car, so
Yeah.
you can drive it on the
I
street.
will. Yes. If I had snow tires for this thing, we would have drove it here today. We'd have put you in there, probably picked up this hitchhiker. There's a guy standing outside your door with food this morning. You know what?
I would say the tread on the rear tires here is not aggressive enough for winter driving.
Oh, it's all about tire speed, Fire. You just got enough tire speed.
Really?
Man.
Okay.
Oh,
They got studs for that.
Yeah.
And it runs on E85?
It can.
Well, yeah, that's right.
It can.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's it. It can. So you just, a lot of the people listening, I know they have flexible vehicles. They just choose what brand they want when they get to the gas station other than diesel. And it's the same thing. It's got a license plate on it. We drive. We got the stereo in there. We got the backup camera. We got all the same things. You got electric windows. They're not in it right now, but we have electric windows and all that cool stuff. So we pull up the gas station.
Cup holder.
We choose. That's right, Michael.
That's right.
So
Radio.
For all intents and purposes, it's a stock vehicle?
That's where it's tricky. You know, the whole thing.
It was.
It was a stock vehicle. So I took my first car. I disassembled it to the point where it wasn't recognizable, and then we built this new creation. Is what essentially happened. And a lot of the props go to Donnie. I had a lot of the drivetrain ideas. I designed the body, but you know, when you get to the level of this is actually a world-class vehicle. You get to that level, and it's like you need to call in some of your band members, if you will. You know, if you're going to do a certain piece, I use the analogy of music because our website is www.sorceress.rocks. That's the coolest website ever, and we're into that stuff. So we always call it the band. You know, by putting a band together. Sometimes you need a horn player, sometimes you need a keyboard player, and we need some extra ingredients to bring this. My very first car that's been changed. The VIN number is still in the window, the dome light, the tail lights. I mean, we kept some of the important pieces, right? Everything else we threw out.
Well,
so
the transformation of this vehicle from the time you first drove it every day to what it is now, it's exactly right. It's a world-class vehicle. This thing's going to be attempting a world record. It's completely, the body's completely made out of carbon fiber.
correct.
It's the kind of horsepower you're running, but it's off of regular gas.
Correct.
And that's where your world record attempt is going to come in.
Right. So the cool thing about this, there's no rules. So when you talk about land speed racing, that's an association that sanctions it, and there's rules and guidelines and stuff. What I'm talking about is there's no rules. You can do whatever the hell you want. So if it's an internal combustion machine, this will be the fastest car. It'll be the quickest. The record is actually held at the Kennedy Space Center as we speak at 293 miles an hour. Now that's a race car. It's a guy that can't pull up to the local station. He's running on methyl alcohol, which is methanol. And you'll find that at the local drag strip. That's what the funny cars and all them guys run on.
But
not
yours-
us. No.
So the engine that's in the vehicle is what?
It's my own design. It's my own engine. It's my own body. It's my own
But
chassis.
it runs on unleaded.
It can run on unleaded, 88 octane. That's correct. Yeah.
Just happens to be 640 cubic inch.
Yes. So it's a unique thing. There's no other motor like it in the planet, and everything about it is unique. It's all one off, is what we call it.
If you go to twodorks.com, you can see pictures of this thing, and you can get an idea of why it's able to go as fast as it's gonna go. It's going to be at the Rod and Custom Show this weekend, so you'll be able to really see it.
Not only see it, but you'll be able to get in it and feel it. We'll put your kids in it. We want you to experience the Sorceress.
Whose idea was it to come up with the virtual reality strip run? Because that I just did it.
Well, we don't do the strip. This is a family show. We shouldn't
I
talk about
understand.
the strip.
Yes.
We were in Vegas. It's actually the facility is called the Strip.
And you guys put me in this thing. Michael's is going to do it in a second. And the virtual reality aspect of it is so cool because you can ride in this car but not have to worry about driving it. Michael had me look behind me, and it's strange to say it like that because I look behind me and there I am. I'm seeing the chute get pulled.
Right.
And I look in front of me and I see the wall going by, and I look next to me and I can see your driver, Donnie, shifting this thing. All of these different aspects in this virtual ride, you'd never be able to experience in real life.
Right.
Most of us would never be able to experience.
And that's what we
it.
want to do. We want to give everybody that experience. And down at the show, they're going to be able to do that.
Which
All right.
It's very cool. And you'll have multiple VR setups.
Yes.
So you'll be able to take 3, 4, 5 people at a time, maybe 3 people, whatever. However many happen to be
Yep.
working.
3 to 4 people will take at a time.
So if you want to experience this yourself this weekend, starting Friday, you want to get there early. Make sure this is one of the first things you do because the line's going to build up early in the day. They're going to get through as many guys as they can. But it is just a pretty cool experience just to be around this car. I have a feeling...
Exactly.
the fact that you were just a kid who was like, man, that's a really cool car, and you do this, and you
Right.
have all these plans, and maybe even draw stuff, and now you have it, which I think is just very cool.
Thank you.
Let's take a break.
Thank you.
Let's
I
put
want to do the virtual run.
Yeah, it's very cool to.
It's too bad you can't go live on your site or something like that because this guy is going to act.
Well, we will.
He's going to flip out. He's going to be holding on to the tabletop. Watch.
It is different because you lose all sense. The whole VR experience is that you lose all sense of everything, gravity, point of reference, and then you get in this car and you just look around and it's just pretty amazing thing.
And everybody will be able to do that this week.
Everybody.
At the Rod and Custom.
So how we real quick how we did that was we actually built 3 racing seats and we got a module sitting in the middle of the room. And so for the special few that will actually be able to sit in the car, they'll be able to do it in the car, and then we have a racing module that they can sit in the seats outside the car.
Yep.
And so if they're a little bit more challenged to get in and out of a car like this,
Sure.
we're going to set them up that way.
All right. Well, we'll take a break, and then I'll take this baby for a spin.
Right on.
200 miles an hour in the Sorceress when we come back. It's 7:48
So
at 97.
it's just
Let's do this.
a new way of experiencing this.
Whoa.
But that's what you want. You want that enthusiasm and excitement, and everybody gets it, even if they don't get it.
Oh, there goes the chute.
Look behind, you can actually see the chute.
That's there it
And
is.
Make-A-Wish is a dear thing to my heart. I'm just going to jump right to it. This is my wish. This is my dream for 30 years, and I've been a staunch supporter of Make-A-Wish. And we reached out to the folks and we said, hey, is there a little boy, little girl that childhood dream would like to experience something like this? Because we like to pack them up on the tour, bring them along to us. We're going to be stopping different places, especially after we're crowned as the world's fastest car. Let them sit in the car.
Look at the crew chief.
Just so we're looking for hitchhikers. And
Yes.
I just don't know which avenue, but I would, as a good guess at the end of the show, I know there's thousands of people that go through the show. My guess is that we're going to drive this car out of the hauler. We're going to drive it into the show. I would drive it all the way from Dubuque. I could make it here in the gas, yes. But the thing is that you got to clean it all up. So we're going to probably just put it inside something to keep it clean. We're going to drive it out of there. We're going to drive it in the show. After the show, we're going to drive it back out. And I don't know what's going to happen. Usually people, coax you along. But my guess is I'm going to have about 8,000 hitchhikers standing outside the door that want to ride in this damn thing in the parking lot, right? So, but that's the reality of it. Is it's a street-driven car, and that's what's cool. I can go out and beat other race cars with a street-driven car. That's the badass part of it.
Yeah, and it's homegrown, right?
Right
here in
on,
Iowa, which
right
is
on.
Beautiful.
All right.
You'll meet all of us. We're all going to be there. Band's going to be there.
Get out there early.
The Rod and Custom Show. As Dwyer said, get there early, and you can check this out all weekend long at the QCCA Expo Center. In addition to all the other cars that will be there on display, the monster truck, you can pick up Dwyer and Michael's Classic Car Calendar. That's on Saturday. This is Christmas weekend for Dwyer, literally. He's the car guy. Me?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, good luck, you guys.